guys,
Hello.
Andy and Jennifer Smith. So I put in the title of this video something funny that happened at my class reunion. So would you like to hear what the funny thing was? Yeah, okay. So one of my classmates, I will not say his name, but he...
Now you know it was a he.
It's a he. He says to my husband, he says, "You know you married up, don't you?" To which he said,
Of course, that was my intention the whole time, yeah.
And so I got to thinking about that. I've been thinking about that for quite a while, the idea that maybe he married up. And I thought, well, that's kind of a compliment, right? Coming from my classmate, that complimenting me. But on the other hand, I thought, maybe that's really not a good thing. Like, could that be a bad thing if I keep thinking about that?
If you let compliments go to your head, I mean, we've all had that kind of warning, right? So
right.
If the compliment goes to your head, it could go kind of bad. Is that what you're saying? I think that's what you're saying.
Maybe. So definitely, when we first got married, I for sure thought I was marrying up, right? So I looked at all of the amazing things about my spouse and the positive traits and characteristics, and some of those things I still felt were weak within myself. And so the idea of when you get together with someone that's a little bit up from you, then they're going to help you become better and give you the desire to work on improving yourself, and being more up yourself. However, if you're thinking, well, since he married up and then we end up having maybe an argument over something or disagreement.
What? Does that happen?
Yeah. Then what am I going to think? Well, if I'm up and he's down, if I'm superior and he's inferior, then obviously he's wrong, I'm right, and that's not coming from a very good place.
So believing that you married up in your marriage only works one direction. Like, if I think that I married up, that works great. But if I say, hey, you married up, that doesn't work so good.
In other words, it's saying, you're down or I'm up, right? So, yeah.
I think it's totally enriching in your marriage for both of you to feel that you both married up, to feel that about each other. But if you're thinking that your spouse married up, then that puts you, then you're thinking you're above, and that never goes well, right?
Right. And how many of you have ever, even one time, thought that your spouse was wrong, or that they were making the stupid decision, or maybe...
Like right before this video, we're trying to adjust the camera, right? And
it's very level right now.
And I hope we're straight,
we
because when I see the background, I think we need to tilt it just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I married up, so we had to do it her way.
Which we can laugh about silly things like that, really. We can. But the more serious stuff, it's maybe a good idea to realize one of the things we love to teach is that different doesn't mean wrong. And so if we feel we're a little bit superior, then they're always going to be wrong, right? Does that make sense?
So I was thinking, there are times when it's probably hard to feel like you married up. I think if you've been married for a while, like
past 7 years,
more than a couple of days. If you've been married more than a couple of days, then you might have.
Yeah.
You might have found some things in your spouse that just kind of rub you wrong. This little emotional sliver that just kind of stirs up all the time, and it's like, I have talked about that so many times, and that's never going away. Can't they ever? And we think that those things are for our spouse to fix because we don't like them. And when those things just get under our skin and we get emotionally revved up, that's when we start thinking, gosh, it's hard to remember that I once thought I married up, because right now it doesn't feel like I married up, because I can't stand that anymore.
And why won't they change, right? They need to change.
Yeah. So if you're thinking your spouse needs to change so that you can remember that you married up, that's never going to work. So I want to try to explain something. I hope I can explain it. I'm glad that I married up so she can help me clarify.
I'll fix it, right?
So,
No, clarify. Right. Try not to interrupt, though.
So when things show up in other people that are bothering you, that isn't for them to fix. It's for you to fix, right? So if you want, the reason we marry up is so that we can elevate ourselves, with them. They're up, and so we look up to that, and so we aspire and are inspired to move up. And so when you are having a hard time feeling like you married up because of these things that just get you.
What is this? That looks like abuse.
when you have contention and you don't feel like that you married up, that is the perfect time to remember that certainly you married up, because what is annoying you about your spouse, now did I say that right? The things in your spouse that are annoying to you,
the things that I do to annoy him,
the things she does to annoy me, is not her problem to fix.
Yay.
It is an eye-opener to me to say, here's an area that I need to see a different perspective, that I need to learn and grow in. It's for me to go up. So I am totally convinced that if there weren't people in your life that caused you to feel annoyed and irritated and upset about things, what incentive would you have to be better? We're all supposed to learn to be Christ-like, and if people weren't testing your patience, how could you become more Christ-like? So when she annoys me, absolutely, I married up, because that is a perfect opportunity for me to rise to a new level and work on that, what she said. You didn't say it, you said it before we started this. Emotional self-mastery.
Emotional self-mastery. You be responsible.
When I'm feeling annoyed, it's my problem that I feel that way. It's not her problem what she did. So I hope that makes sense. So clear that up for me. I married up, so now she's going to clear up what I just said.
Yeah. So the idea is you can't blame someone else for what annoys you. And there again, who's up and who's down in a marriage? Like, who's right, who's wrong? And we all come from such different backgrounds and perceptions and understandings. And what is the real truth here? And, we're not going to get super deep. But bottom line is, if you're struggling and having unkind feelings towards your spouse, then you can only work on yourself. Because I can't tell him, no, you have to do it my way. And I get my way because you married up. Remember that you married up. It's that honor and respect for the individual that your spouse is, and just because you see things differently and do things differently doesn't mean that you're right and they're wrong. We have to be careful about that, and so look for what you can do to improve yourself, to keep that loving energy, that loving relationship going on between the two of you.
Right. So, simple recap. It's great. I hope you all do feel like that you married up. And in those times when you're not feeling it, when you're feeling something else, that is the perfect time to move up. That is the time when you really move to a higher level. Control your own emotional... Yeah. I was going to say control your self-mastery. Redundant, but...
Yeah.
There, we said it.
Okay. And we know marriage is challenging. We've been married for 33 years.
33.
So yay. So no matter how long you've been married, if you're struggling, if you have a hard time remembering that you married up, I would love to do a free marriage assessment call with you. A ton of value there to look for ways to improve your marriage quickly. So if you'd like to chat with me for 30 minutes, the link is in this video, and go ahead and set that up. Very limited spots because we have busy lives and do lots of cool things together. We work together, we play together, so now we're ready to go do some playing.
So yeah, go play, go have fun, and go ahead and compliment each other and let your spouse know why you feel like you married up. I think that'd be fun.
Great idea.
Let's
Okay.
hear it.
All right. Have a good night. Bye, guys.